Here's the second game between
Bob,
Bob
very
and
quick
Jake.
approach. Has a lot of ball speed and a lot of turn.
Just kind of explodes at the line. Tugs his opening shot, leaves the solid 5-pin, gives it the thumbs up signal.
Safe. 5-pin, I think I can make.
I don't know, as many times as we've seen the head pin miss tonight.
Yeah.
Of course, keep in mind, no one in the history of bowling, at least the professional ranks, has ever missed the 5-pin other than Pisano, which happened I think it was in the 40s.
In the 40s.
Yeah,
right.
Chuck Pisano, our television coordinator. It was either in the 40s or the 30s. And let's see. Yes, he still remains the only professional player ever to miss the 5-pin in competition. It's a record that most people don't know about.
Well, yeah, and I sort of inform our viewers out here that this is tongue-in-cheek. That's Schreiner's humor.
Well, I'm going to have to check with Chuck because we've talked about it. Maybe I can document it. Of course, he left the 5-pin a lot, too, those days. As he takes it pretty well. Our good friend and television coordinator, Chuck Pisano. I might add, a great bowler in his own right.
Watching this legal line.
Well, in the opening game, the 4 tripped the 9. This time it didn't.
This time makes bowling so interesting. The breaks can go all your way one game, and then the next game you get none. Pretty steady this week, all within 100 pins right there. In a tough condition when your low game's only 168, assuming that you get some big games, usually you make some money.
Now 11-4 in championship round play. Not a bad record.
Very good record. Obviously, the television lights don't intimidate him.
One of the young breed on the PBA National Tour. 4 years of collegiate bowling experience. 3 times an All-American. Bowled at the same time as Mark McDowell, John Jurek.
Uh-oh. 4, 6, 7, 10.
I don't care how many times you're All-American. These are tough to make.
They don't get much tougher than the 4, 6, 7, 10 right here. You'll go hard and straight at 2 of them, probably the 4, 7.
You ever make this?
No, I never did make it. I had it made against me, but I never made it.
Figures only you would remember that someone made this. I get you. Let's make a game out of it. Okay, give me a clue. Right-handed or left-handed?
Oh, right-handed.
Oh, right-handed. You said that like it was.
Oh yeah, he made it. And he made it lickety split. It was in Syracuse.
I'll tell you who it was. Mark Roth.
No. Guy can throw it just as hard at the spares as he did.
Let me think. Now I know who it is. I know who it is. Crossover shot. Ooh. Joe Berardi.
It's Jeff Bellinger.
Jim crossed over this time, but
Jeff Bellinger.
I probably wouldn't have guessed that for a while.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't have.
And did he beat you in the match?
Yes, well, he needed that to beat me in the match. Exactly right.
Tough way to lose.
Hard and straight at the 6-pin. Brooklyn both shots. Right now, he's just feeling them out. You see him bent over, basically holding the ball in one hand, a big first step. As he goes up there, crouched all the way, all like Marshall Holman. Head steady. Look at how he comes up and puts the whole body into it at the end there.
Now, there's a player that's getting his money's worth.
When he says that he doesn't hold back, he doesn't.
Come on back, Bob Learn. With a reeling strike on lane 29. Stacy with a sigh of relief. Yes, he finally hit the pocket. She's
breathe, Stacy, breathe.
She's turning red.
Yes. And again, the pin center on lane 29 is not working properly. There's no pins over there yet. Players just have to ignore that.
Almost a repeat performance. Shady has now looked at
6, 7, 9.
6 split on the last couple of frames.
Yeah. Those donuts make difficult scoring.
Donuts are great in the morning with coffee, but as a professional bowler.
Let's try getting those circles. You go hard and straight at the 6-9 and hope that he can slide something over there. Something happens.
All right, an open frame back-to-back for Mike Shady, whose shoulders shrug. Don't forget the Greater Harrisburg Open from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. Next Thursday night, ABC West Lanes. All starts at 7:30. And the heavyweights going tonight in Mississippi as soon as we're done. Ray Mercer will be throwing some leather. I'd like to see you in there against Big Red.
No. You don't want to see me in there against anybody.
Here's a heavyweight right here in the bowling side of things. 45 300 games. I mean, most cities don't have 45 300 games. Well, Bob turned his back on that strike, but normally when he needs to strike out for 300, he seems to come through. I talked to him about that.
Well, I'm not really sure exactly. My ball carries pretty good. Usually I don't leave too much in the bag when I let go of the ball, so I think there's not too much chance to cut one off. So I just think going up there and being as aggressive as I can be helps. Also, just wanting to throw the 300. I really don't think about not throwing it. I think about how much I want to throw it, and I just think that maybe that helps me.
But that time,
another crossover hit. Bob Learn having a hard time finding the 1-3.
He says, well, I'm getting 9 in the spare, and I got a double.
Let's just say
4 out of 5 on the Brooklyn side.
9
Speaking of 300 games, the PBA set a record this year where they bowled 170 perfect games so far in 28 tournaments. Previous record was 159 set last year.
All right, is that because the players are better, the conditions are easier, or the balls are better?
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to cop out. Oh, I knew it. I could see that.
All three. It is all of the above.
This is not multiple choice. There was not a D there.
You got to give me a D there.
Fine. Okay. Right now, Shady would settle for a strike.
Wow.
3 consecutive donuts.
See, the difference in this game right now is Shady is making small mistakes and getting big penalties, where Learn is making bigger mistakes and getting no penalties.
Back-to-back opens in the second and the third, a strike in the fourth, another open in the fifth. We're staring 150 right smack in the face.
Well, 3 opens right now puts you in the 160 bracket if you haven't lost count, which he has. Yeah, he's staring in the 150s right now.
Frustrating as a pro to be on a pair of lanes in a championship round that you really can't do much with.
He got 200 the first game. He got a 4-bagger the first game. High again. A 3 in the 6, and what do we have? 1 ball in the pocket between 2 players, all in 5.5 frames. Oh, Shady had a ball in the pocket the first frame. He tripped 4 and less than left. Right. So, needless to say, 29 and 30 is a challenge. It'll be interesting to see as we move up the ladder what the great Walter Ray does with this player.
And it just keeps getting worse. This game can't end fast enough for Mike Shady.
Oh, man, he's in trouble.
Bob Learn in control. And you see the numbers changing on the fly. Comfortably here in game number. Welcome back to beautiful Spectrum Lanes in Grand Rapids, Michigan. And while we were away, Bob Learn Jr. threw a double, both on the wrong side of the head pin. And Mike Shady has done an honorable thing. He's changed equipment to a harder surface ball, moved right. He's just trying to hit the pocket to finish this one out.
It's interesting. As they move left and get left to that 3rd arrow, close to the 4th arrow, the ball is just hooking earlier and earlier and earlier. As they move right to the 3rd arrow, there's more while the ball goes straighter there.
A tricky pattern, to say the least.
Light. And the tip-in. This is going to be, like you say, this could not end quick enough. The good news is he's going to make over 100. The bad news is we don't know how much over.
Well, the all-time record is something that we don't want to talk about right now. We'll just hold off on that. Do you remember what it was?
All-time record of low game.
That's on convert to despair.
Fans with a rousing applause, and hopefully it's not going to matter what it is.
It's the 2-pin on the left. Slides it over.
Bob Learn finally hits the pocket, doesn't trip out the 10. A smile from Bob. Easier to be relaxed at this point because he's comfortably ahead. I think the all-time low score is 129.
I was wondering whether you were talking about margin of victory.
Gentleman who won last week, Steve Charles. Remember last year in the World Open? Brunswick World Open, shot 129, but obviously came back and won last week.
We see 175 pounds, 31 years of age, 2 titles. Bob also has 16 regional titles. An outstanding bowler in the headquarters region for years.
And those after
But
number
right now,
10.
even though he's winning, he's kind of embarrassed about this whole thing.
All right, well, let me ask you a question. Now, I know you've played there all week. And I know you played there in practice and you struck a little bit. It's not working now. You either got to change equipment or you got to start moving right. You got to do something.
Well, especially in this situation where he's got the game well in hand. He's got to make some kind of...
Why keep trying to force it in there? I mean, he's throwing it as hard as he can throw it right now. And the ball is still going left to the head pin. He's as deep as he can get.
He's not as deep as he can get. He can get deep. Whether that will do any good or not, I don't know.
Right. The ball keeps going left. Further deep. The further you go now.
It seems to be that way, yeah. Well, there goes Shady, even deeper yet. And the ball slides out.
Yep.
2-4-5. The great one, Billy Hardwick. PBA and ABC Hall of Famer, Player of the Year on several occasions, one of 3 players to win the Triple Crown, captured a tournament in Grand Rapids all the way back in 1969, and guess who presented him with the trophy in the check?
Gerald Ford.
Back when he was a congressman.
Right.
Billy's line was, hey, I was the king and he was the congressman. That's for all of you who know Billy Hardwick.
Yeah. Well, at that time, he was the king. King of bowling at that time. I remember. I bowled in that tournament.
How'd you do?
I don't remember.
It was not a memorable experience, and neither will this be for Mike Shady. Shady comfortably averting that all-time low score.
Right.
Could shoot 150 if he strikes out.
Right. Well, we were talking about that in the 5th frame, right?
154 to be exact.
See, now he's moved even deeper yet and got left of that 4th arrow.
What I admire at this point in time is the young man's poise to be embarrassed the way he has, to give great effort and still kind of hang in there and say, you know, I'm going to learn something from this experience, and even though I finished 4th, I'm going to keep throwing him in there and try and get some strikes.
Well, he does seem to have a very positive attitude toward the whole thing, a very professional attitude. Bob Learn, in the meantime, should be watching what he is doing and moving in there and give it a shot, see what happens.
Well, you talked to Robert Lawrence about moving left throughout the week. There were several times on the right-hand lane where he would walk up right on the ball return and then drift way left after he got past it to try and make the shot.
Right. I never had that ability.
You never needed to.
Oh, yeah. Sometimes you had to be in there. Even me. Well, let's learn to see if he makes any move further left. Yeah, that's a little deeper.
Yep.
He was watching. So maybe Bob learned from Mr. Shady.
Apparently he has. Spare up and a strike gives him 215, which right now seems like a humongous game.
Well, he's got another practice shot coming up. He needs to do something with it because he gets no practice on this pair in between games.
And of course, after this game is over and after his shots are completed, you'll be chatting with Walter Ray.
Yeah, I'm anxious to talk with him, see what his mental state is. This tremendous run that he's having.
Oh, a rare occurrence. Bob Learn, right of the head pin. When we come back, Mike Durbin, Walter Ray Williams Jr. will talk.